Imagine an elderly man laying on his bed, waiting for his last moments. At some stage, he closes his eyes, breathes out the last breath, and in a split second, he passes away, suddenly comes back, takes a deep breath and comes back. His son is sitting right behind him, and he looks at his son and says, "Son, I just came back. I relived my entire life, 80 years of life in one split second. Son, I'm here to tell you that there is no time as we think of time." That information stays with the man, and he always questions this. What is time then? How can an 80 years of life can fit in a split second? What is time then? What is consciousness then? What is awareness then? How do they all correlate? Do we need space for time? Do we need movement for time? If you think about movement, in physics, we can clearly see that you need time. Movement, time, speed equals distance. But in psychological world, time is the moment of thought. Thoughts are originated from the past. Our knowledge, our past experiences are all coming from the past. We are registering them in our brains, and then we are seeing the world through those limited, conditioned way. These are our filters. This is what we call time. That is past. We are always in the past because we bring past to the present moment, look at the world that way. We see the world that way. That is our content of our consciousness. That is us. Consciousness and the content of consciousness are one and only, and that constitutes I, me, my story, my life, everything that I know about myself, everything that I know about others and the world. That is time, that is past, knowledge, experience. We come in contact with something beautiful. We see it, we perceive it. That's the contact portion. The moment we contact with it, then a thought arises. That is so beautiful. First thought, first moment. We compared to something else, or we labeled it. And later on, another thought arises, says, I wish I had that house. That is beautiful. Why I don't have it? And that is registered in our brains. Then we created time. We constantly add time. And there are two ways that are imprinting time heavily on our brains. That is hurts and flattery. When people think about highly of us, when they say good stuff about us, then we register that. That is forming our self-image. When somebody says something that doesn't resonate well with us or puts us down, then that is a hurt. And we feel the pain and we register it. And then our self-image formulates itself. And our knowledge adds on top of it. The way we see it, the way we have experienced it, that is all registered. And we look at the world that way. That means we are always looking at the world, but past. So content of my consciousness is past. Content of my consciousness is knowledge, beliefs, patterns. And if I'm living my present moment with the past, then I'm projecting to the future with my past experience as well. So that means time is in action all the time. With thought, as long as there's movement of thought, as long as there's labeling, as long as I'm acting from my conditioning, then I'm always in time. If I want to be timeless, we want to experience what timelessness is, then there needs to be awareness of our habits, the ways we behave, the ways we act. The easiest way to see is your actions. Look at your actions day to day, observe them like an eagle. Always keep an eye on them. And once you see them, once you start connecting the dots, once you understand that that is actually harming you, harming the world, and that is not us, that is not a human being, then you can end it. Then you can do something about it. So moving out of time requires awareness to come into play. Awareness is not the end stop. It's not the God sitting in the air. It's not the God that doesn't have any existence. It's one of the faculties of a human being. A human being can be aware, can see the consciousness, the content of the consciousness. If you empty the content of consciousness for the first time in your life, look at a tree and see that tree for what it is, the reality of it, without labeling, without any past conditioning, then you are actually seeing the reality. That is real. That is nature. That is life. For life to see itself, we need to empty our brains. Then a still brain, a quiet brain, can experience what is real. And the reality is right before us, here and now. When we say here and now, that's only possible when you're not around, when you don't exist. But at the same time, if you come to that understanding, if you experience that, then you exist. Life exists. That is timeless. Life doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end. Human being doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end. It will be forever and ever, with no bondage. There's no bondage to space, there is no bondage to time. When you remove time, then you're removing the space. Because from physics, we know that they go hand in hand. So if there's no space, there is no time, then what is this? It is what mind cannot grasp, but it is what human can live. And through that, death can live. If death lives, that is life in action. That is nature in action. That is like planet Earth. That is like nature, trees, birds, everything floating around without any labeling. It is full movement of life. So it's up to you. Choose it. Do you choose the movement of thought, or do you choose the movement of life? So it's entirely up to you to what to choose. If you're choosing the movement of life, then there's harmony, there's peace, there's humanity living. If you're choosing the movement of thought, you're choosing the division, you're choosing the fight, you're choosing the conflict. Because as long as there is you and me, rather than just life, then there will be fight. There will be conflict, there will be problems. And those problems we create, we'll try to solve that with the same mind that we created the problems with. And that's an endless process, and that's an endless moment of thought. But it's entirely up to you. Choose well. Peace out.